point. And at the start of this day, who could have ever predicted we'd be here? We've taken a sharp turn in the argument over whether the U.S. should target the Syrian regime with limited strikes as part of the Assad government allegedly using chemical weapons on his own people. It's less than 24 hours now before President Obama speaks directly to the American people. A senior administration official tells CNN that he will still make the case for Congress to authorize force in Syria, even after this happened. Secretary of State John Kerry, on a trip to London, was asked this about the Assad regime.
Is there anything at this point that his government could do or offer that would stop an attack?
Sure. He could turn over every single bit of his chemical weapons to the international community in the next week. Turn it over, all of it, without delay, and allow a full and total accounting for that. But he isn't about to do it, and it can't be done, obviously.
Well, hold on a second. Did we just hear Secretary of State John Kerry extemporaneously hypothesize his way into a potentially different solution? Now, one U.S. official said Kerry made a, quote, major goof, and, quote, clearly went off script. But then Syria's ally Russia proposed exactly what Kerry suggested, a plan for Syria to hand over its chemical weapons to international control. And then the Syrians said they'd be open to it. And we watched all day long as the administration seemed to publicly warm to the idea, culminating in the moment President Obama sat down in a chair opposite our own Wolf Blitzer. And now Wolf Blitzer is here with us. We're going to show you his revealing interview with President Obama. Then we'll examine all the implications of what you're about to hear with help from our chief political analyst, Gloria Borger, chief congressional correspondent, Dana Bash, and our chief domestic affairs correspondent, Jessica Yellen. But first, obviously, Mr. Blitzer, when you sat down, or actually when you woke up this morning and you had a list of questions ready to ask President Obama, you probably had to scrap that list because of the events of the day.
I had 15 brilliant questions ready to go, and they were all assuming there was going to be a crisis, there was going to be a vote, and there was going to be U.S. airstrikes on targets in Syria. And then during the course, as you correctly point out, of this day, all of a sudden, we see that there's a realistic chance that maybe there could be a diplomatic solution that would avert the need for U.S. military strikes, might even avert the need for a roll call in the Senate or the House of Representatives on a vote that would authorize military force. It was a really dramatic day.
So